Red Nation, are we here?
The best show for Chicago sports.
Yeah. What's good? What's going on, y'all? We're back. What is good, everybody? It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Live. We got a lot to get into today, man, because we're going to be doing a couple of different things. Going to be breaking down Justin Fields' interview with Bleacher Report and ask, can he make this Bears wide receiving core better? Is he the key? And then we're going to look at this season's roster versus last season's roster and give some predictions on whether we think it's going to be better or worse. The date is May 23rd on a Monday. The Chicago Bears are getting closer to the season. And I got nothing left to say on that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Let's get into the show. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling today? Chat is already lit. It's a Monday morning. We got John in the chat. Deja in the chat. What's good, sis? Robert Schwartz in the chat. Adrian in the chat. What's going on? Bob in the chat. What's going on? The weekend came and went, man. The weekend has come and gone, but that's okay because we're here every day doing what we love. And if you're not doing what you love, you got to start doing what you love. Let's get it done. Dan Richardson in the building. Appreciate y'all for pulling up and rocking with us for another episode of The Daily Show. We got Chicago Bulls Central in the chat as well. My boy Hayes in his mug. Hit that like button if you haven't done so, man. Y'all know how we do over here.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in for another one, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. This is what we do. This is what we do. And the question on the table today, man. Let's get it started. Let's get straight into this, man. Because the weekend, I'm not going to lie to you, right? For me, the weekend, spent most of it working on my brother's house as he's getting ready to get married next Sunday. So shout out to little bro, man. So we're trying to get everything ready with his house. So I spent most of the weekend up there kind of just listening to sports, watching the games and stuff like that. Very uneventful for me. So we might as well just jump right into this, man. And the question on the table today, right? Because Justin Fields did an interview with Bleacher Report. And in that interview, he talked about his receiving core. He talked about, kind of what he feels the Bears have going into this season. And to me, it was very interesting, his viewpoint of it. Because when you hear guys kind of talk about, where they're at, where this team is at, we always hear, they're going to be terrible. They haven't improved the lineup. Well, they're going to be terrible. The wide receiver core is awful. Here's what Justin Fields had to say on it. Said, we don't have an Odell or a Cooper Kupp. Hold on, let me hit one of these so everybody can see it in this mode. We don't have an Odell or a Cooper Kupp on our team. But at the end of the day, I think if everybody's on their P's and Q's and we're on top of everything and not making mistakes, the players we have are good enough. The players we have are good enough right now. It's Justin Fields via Bleacher Report. And the question that you got to get into with that, right, is that the case? Can Justin Fields make these guys good enough? Can he improve the Chicago Bears receiving core based on what we think it's going to be, right? Like, these guys could come out and be dominant. But do you feel like if they are on their P's and Q's that they will be, as we welcome into the show? I don't know why I had a stroke right there. The man, the myth, the legend, formerly known as Ringo J, Mr. Stefan the Don in this month.
Yo, what's happening?
What's going on?
What's good? What's
Coming through
good?
Mad Crispy in this month.
Hey, mad crispy, yeah.
Mad Crispy in this
You
month.
hear me?
Yeah, it's nothing like crisp camera and audio. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. Got the upgrade. We living life.
You know what I'm saying? You were in the backstage, so you heard it. Do you feel like Justin Fields can improve the Chicago Bears receiving core enough that the players on this team will be good enough right now? And yeah, I know a lot of people are saying like this receiving core took a step back, and that's why I want to get into this on the other side of this topic. But did this receiving core even take a step back, knowing that you really didn't use Allen Robinson for anything?
Yeah, I think that the Bears receiving core. Honestly, I think he can help them, and like you said, they didn't really use Allen Robinson last season outside of the exception of Mooney. I mean, what? like they didn't really use anybody else. So I mean if like we've been saying all off season, if Poles made the right adjustments and keeping Tevin Jenkins, see what he's gonna do. You hear Tim Patrick saying the right things. If Justin stays off his butt, and we've seen the improvements that he's made throwing the ball and everything like that. They can take a step now. Is that step possibly playoff bound or something like that? We don't know. I mean, I think best case scenario, everybody in the chat and including you are hoping that it is. But I mean, even if it's not, we said the improvement. What 6-7 wins, maybe to get other guys in the room for next season.
I said you get 2 wins off rip just for Matt Nagy not being.
Yeah.
No, but I just honestly, I really did. I said they're gonna win 8 games just because Matt Nagy's not here. But no, I honestly look at it right. Like we always look at it as, oh, can the Bears coaches do enough to make Justin Fields good? And I think that you kind of we never extrapolated out, right? Like I think there's a certain confidence level that the Bears are doing things for Justin Fields, at least around Chicago more so, that the Bears are doing things for Justin Fields to improve, that the Bears are doing things for Justin Fields to move in the right direction, for Justin Fields to, essentially become the quarterback that we hope he's going to become. Not to say that he's going to be that quarterback this season, but more so to say that, hey, he's going to take a step in the right direction. We're going to feel good about Justin Fields being a part of the Chicago Bears moving forward. And that's going to put us, on the path to success. We don't talk about it, though, as, hey, if we improve Justin Fields this year and he gets better, guess what? His wide receivers are going to have to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't talk about it like that. And I feel like that's the part that a lot of Bears fans might be missing, right? Like do we feel like Justin Fields is going to improve this season? That's really the question. I do. I feel like not having Matt Nagy in the room, I feel like you heard Justin in that interview talk about as well, knowing that you're coming in as the unquestioned leader of this team gives you a confidence to do more. So I think that he is going to take that next step. I think he is going to move in the right direction. I think that he is going to be able to get to a level of quarterback where we feel like, hey, this is going to be our quarterback of the future. But nobody talks about that as the receiving core gets better.
Yeah, and this is the thing though. Like, I think the biggest thing that he knows coming into the season is the one key word that you feel me. I think that everybody need to carry on into this season, especially for Justin Fields and this Bears offense is simple. That's the one. I mean, if you look at it, I mean he's done. Pauls has done everything. Eberflus has done everything to put them in position to make the offense simple. Now everything else, like they're expecting Darnell Mooney to take another leap. They're expecting Komet to take a leap. But if those two guys do, with the addition of, because you Mug slept on, the addition of I forget his name, but they added a fullback. So what does that mean? Hey, we running the ball, dual threat,
Yeah.
20, 30, 20, 25, 30, 30 times a game. And like I said, if you can keep it to 20 to 25 for Justin, but we've seen Justin make those key throws, make all those throws, and Nagy's not in his ear talking about something. Hey, you see that flag? Throw that up. I mean, like,
Here's the weird thing that nobody talked about that. Isn't that illegal?
what?
You can't talk to the quarterback after the play is off.
Oh no. That's definitely illegal.
Like, I thought there was something in place for that. I remember them talking about that, and like we just kind of never paid attention to it. But like I remember them talking about that and being like, "Yeah, I heard. They told me in the ear that it was a free play." Or like maybe he was saying like I just heard from the sidelines, but I definitely was like, "You can't do that."
Yeah, I was like,
You
because
know?
don't you like get a window? I think it's like a 5 or 10 second window where you just tell them like, hey, this is what we want. Like, do it, do what you got to do. But I mean, even then, like I said, I think the key word this year for the offense definitely needs to be the word simple, because at the end of the day, all of these things that's put in place are going to help Justin Fields, help the trajectory
Yeah.
of this Bears offense, because everybody wants to keep harping on, oh man, next season we got this money, next season. That don't mean nothing if the Bears go out here and get 2 wins
That's
and they're
that's
thinking
a,
it up.
that's an interesting point as well, right? Because like we do talk about next season. I think next season is going to be the season for me, right? I think people think next season is going to be the start of the Bears really going after it. I think next season is the season where the Bears start to try and make a run for a Super Bowl. Not to say that they're going to be that good, but when you have
Oh,
that
because
much
you
money
you
and
you
that
have
many
you have the
picks,
money available.
you're going to go out and you're going to spend on big name players. You're going to go out and you're going to spend on guys that you feel like can make an instant impact on your team, not guys that you come in and you think, hey, in a couple of years, this guy's going to be really nice. Like with the money the Bears have next season coming in, they're going to be talking about, hey, can we win this thing right now? And I think that's going to be the part where uh, why you want to see, right, the Bears make a move immediately this season, why you want to see that step from Justin Fields this season. And I like I said, I feel like we have the pieces in place to see that step from Justin. You don't have to see a step, right? Like you think about Russell Wilson, his first couple of years in the league. That offense was built around
Oh,
Marshawn
it was
Lynch.
it was my it was Marshawn Lynch. But at the end of the day, if you need him to make a throw, if
He
you need him
could.
to make a money throw or
He
or
could.
or a run,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah. That's
That's
really
all it
what it is.
was.
Like, and that to me, right? You want to put him. It's all about putting him in a position of being successful. How do you do that? That's the one thing we didn't see last year from Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was trying to force the ball down the field. He was like, we've got to get these plays down the field. We've got to make these throws. The problem was you didn't have an offensive line that could make those throws. You didn't have an offensive line that was going to hold and that could make those throws. That was going to hold up long enough to make those throws. You didn't have an offense that could make those throws. And so now you're looking at, okay, how are we going to do this season? We're going to run the ball heavy. We're going to be an outside run heavy team. It's been reported on multiple platforms, and I believe that it's the thing that makes the most sense, especially with how the roster is constructed. If that's the case, if you're talking about a run heavy offense that gets you in 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, where Justin Fields not only can use his arm, but also can use his legs if the play breaks down or something isn't there to get you that first down. You're continuing to move the ball down the field, right? Like there's a big difference in in guys spending their entire careers as game managers and like you said, keeping it simple so that all of a sudden you have an understanding of the playbook, understanding of what's going to like even I continue to say this, right? Like when you look at what Pat Mahomes did and how their playbook was, they didn't force it down his throat. They gave him a little bit at a time. Hey, this is the part of the playbook we want you to master. If Justin is able to master this season's playbook the way that Luke Getsy is talking about, he's really learning the system and his footwork is showing that he's confident in what he's learning from these plays. Then next season, you don't come in with the same playbook. Next season, you come in and you say, okay, we want to add these things into your game now.
Right. We
want to put
we
this
might
on.
be able to give you the keys.
Yeah, and
we might be able to give you the keys.
And that's what it becomes. And here's the thing, right? Like you're talking about an offseason. I think this is going to be an interesting next season is going to be an interesting offseason because you could be talking about an offseason where David Montgomery is a 1,200-yard rusher and Justin Fields has made Velus Jones or Byron Pringle or whoever it is, right, look really good. Darnell Mooney look really good, right? And now we're going to be talking about, hey, we're letting David Montgomery go because we got Khalil Herbert, we got this. That means the keys are now going to be put in Justin's hands, and so you want to feel good about that coming into the next offseason. And I think that the Bears are going to be okay with that. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that the Bears. Like I said, there's a lot of games on this schedule that are very winnable. There's a lot of games on this schedule that the Bears should be able to take advantage of. But the question's going to be, can they? The question's going to be, will they? And I think that the interesting thing is when you look at how this schedule breaks down, it doesn't mean they're going to win every single game. It just means that, hey, I saw good things in this game. Like that's the point we're at right now.
Yo, I told you, like I'm saying, like coming into this season, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a list at every game of Justin's stats, and then we just finna go. We just about to go off that because this year ain't about like it's like you said, this year ain't about like they're not winning 11 games. At least we don't think they're winning 11 games. This season is about like straight improvement, and I mean that like from everybody because I mean if you look at it, I mean if you just look at the two teams that was in the Super Bowl that last season, the Bengals. Hey, we already like we already had Trey Hendrickson, but Tyler Boyd and T Higgins was already in place.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon and P Ryan was already in place. That's what I think the Bears are trying to do when it's like, hey, if we got Pringle, Velus Jones, Darnell Mooney in place, and you talking about we just got to add a running back and a couple of pieces on defense,
yeah,
to make a run at this thing, and we still got money left over. Like I'm looking at that as a W.
Yeah, and the question is, right, like can they do enough with this receiving core that Darnell Mooney continues to play like the number one that he played like last season? Like everybody talks about Mooney's season, like he's not a number one. He's not. What are people going to do when they're double covering, and what's he going to do?
It wasn't a scrub season. I'll give you
that. That's what happened last year, right? Like there weren't a ton of touchdowns, but the problem is the offense was so god awful. There weren't a ton of touchdowns anywhere, and he still had over 1,000-yard season. And if we're going to talk about like him being covered as the number one, he was being covered as the number one because they essentially weren't using Allen Robinson. They weren't even going to Allen Robinson. They weren't even looking Allen Robinson's way. He was being used as the number one. Is Allen Robinson a much better decoy on the field? Heck yeah. I'd much rather see Allen Robinson standing next to Darnell Mooney than Byron Pringle. But guess what? If Justin Fields is going to use Byron Pringle, if Justin Fields is going to use Velus Jones, they're giving me more value than Allen Robinson did. That's the one thing that you got to look at with this receiving core coming down the stretch. Like, it's about what value are you giving me? Byron Pringle's going to see the ball more than 66 times. Like, that's how little Allen Robinson got used. Byron Pringle's going to see the ball more than 66 times this season.
And to caveat of that, like we're actually gonna see, what he can do, like because he didn't get the same opportunities in KC. So hopefully, when he comes here, he'll be able to ball. So
Oh yeah.
plus I got a little faith in him. Coach T said that's his guy. So
You gotta
yeah,
show. Hey, listen, if Coach T coached him, he's gonna be a stud.
yeah.
I
Hey,
mean, I feel better. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel better about the roster construction, knowing what the offense is gonna be.
mhm.
Like I do. I feel better about the roster construction now, knowing that it's not gonna be, hey, Justin, put the ball down the field every play. Hey, Justin, make sure that we're throwing this mug up deep. Hey, Justin, make sure that we're right. Like it's gonna be, hey, Justin, do enough. Like I don't need you to be crazy. I just need you to do enough. Doing enough
That's
can get
legitimately
you.
all it is.
Doing enough could get you. We saw the roster. We've gone through the roster a lot on this show. Doing enough can get you 10 wins. It can. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that I predicted to, but I'll tell you this. I see 4 wins in a row in the month of November. I'm going to be the one in here trying to calm everybody down. I see 4
Oh my
wins in a
God.
row in the month of November. I do. I feel like I don't
That's
think the
good
Bears
though.
are a
That's good
great
though.
football team,
Yeah.
but I also think the thing is, like, the teams that we're playing also are going through the same thing that we're going through. That's the part that the national media doesn't talk about. That's the part that the national media doesn't break down when they look at it, right? They're like, the Bears are implementing a new system and they don't have the players and they didn't give Justin Fields wide receivers and they didn't give, yeah, but you know what else? Who's the great wide receiver on the Giants? Who's the great wide receiver, wide receiving core for Zach Wilson? Like, these are the teams that we play. Who's this dominant quarterback? Tua's in the best position to be successful, and I don't think anybody believes he can play football. I don't think the Dolphins believe that he can
It's
play
no
football.
faith in that man.
I,
It's no faith in that man.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a weird situation when you look at it, right? Like, as you look at it, you're like, this team is bad. But even if you think this team is bad, you can't tell me that you think that the teams that we're competing against this season are in much better situations. I would say maybe Trevor Lawrence is in a better situation. Do we play the Jags this year? More so just talking about second-year quarterbacks. I would say maybe Trevor Lawrence is in a better situation, but the reason is because they had money to throw at him, just like the Bears will have next year.
They went on and got everything.
They got everything for him.
Hey, you need a receiver? I got that. Offensive line, I got that. Defensive help.
Yeah, man.
We'll get you that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, as the season gets closer, not to say that I feel like I'm gonna change my prediction. I still think the Bears are gonna be an 8-win team. I'm gonna stay pretty even keel with that. But I do believe that the Bears are going to be better than Bears fans may think. There's some Bears fans that think we're a 3-win team. I don't. I don't think that we'll be picking at the top of the draft. I don't think that we'll be picking in the top 5 of the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this Bears team is going to absolutely maybe not be a 12-win, 10-win team, but I'm not going to sit here and act like there's not a path for them to get there. I'm not going to sit here and act like there's not a path for them to be that team. And it's at one position, right? And then you have to ask yourself, like, all the doubters, all the naysayers, all that stuff, do you believe Justin Fields can play? That's what it is. If you think the Bears are going to win 3 games, you don't think Justin Fields can play. You don't think he's a good quarterback. And that's a different place to start the argument from. That's
But
a different
this is
place.
the thing. You know what kind of kills me though about it is like they'll turn around and say like, oh, Justin don't got this, 3 wins. But then like you'll turn around and it's like, oh well, we know Trevor's gonna be all right. Trevor's gonna be all right. He's goated. He'll be all right. He's fine.
Yeah, the guy
it's like, hey bro,
the guy that Justin beat at every turn.
they You do
At this
realize they
point-
had
at
the
this point,
same
Justin
exact
is a
season
nemesis.
last season, right?
At
Like,
this point, Justin is a nemesis for Trevor.
bro, a legitimate nemesis, bro. Like, bro, this man beat me in 7-on-7 flag. We get the college, he beat me. They streaming the games on ESPN. Why is he doing this? Sick of it.
I'm sick of it. Gets to the opportunity to play in the national championship, dominated. Oh man. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. So be tuned in with us, man. If you guys are at work right now, enjoy the work day, man. We hope that you're having a great day at work. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening to us, man. If you got the opportunity to do so, though,
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
we got 70-something people in here. We got about 30 likes on this mug. So hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Also, listen, do want to tell you guys about this, man, because we want to make sure that we know we got a lot of people in here that are small businesses that are trying to grow their company the same way that we're over here trying to grow the breeze. We're all in this thing together. You know what I'm saying? So we do want to let you guys know that we are going to be allowing smaller businesses to promote on the show, and we want to work with you on a price point, man. So promote your business on the show. You see the pic out here, yeah, I'm saying it was for the IG, yeah, I'm saying, but no, promote your business for the show. Hit us up in an email, TWC Breeze, Pat Moranzoni at TWCBreeze.com. We want to grow the community. We want to grow not only our community, but also grow you guys being able to have the same opportunities that the Manscapes, that the Blue Chews have had on this show, man. So, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? It's all about not just us being successful, but everybody around us being successful. So rock with us on that as well. We appreciate y'all for showing love on that. Let's keep it
One
going.
more zipper pad. You funny?
On what?
I
What is
don't know. I guess the jacket. That's what Roy said.
Hey, Otto Porter wore that jacket with the Chicago Bulls, man. Hey, legit.
We actually can't say nothing about him. He hooping right now.
Hey, man, forget that mug, man. Was he out? He was out the last game, wasn't he?
Yeah, nah, he got I think he got a sore foot or something.
Sounds about right. No, the other thing we wanted to do this morning when we're talking about these, our Chicago Bears, these Chicago Bears, was break down last season's roster versus this season's roster and give our evaluation of where we think it actually is, right? Like there was a lot of things that came down last season. I mean, that I think led to the Bears struggling. Matt Nagy being right at the beginning of all of that, right? But I also feel like there's how do you put? I also feel like, right, like the roster construction this season fits more of what the Bears are doing with their team. So you kind of got to take 2021 and keep it in mind with Matt Nagy, and then what we think 2022 is going to be with Matt Eberflus. So let's get this mug started off, man. We're going to start it off with the quarterback room. I know y'all can see this. It's going to show everybody on here as well. Let's start it off with last season's quarterback room, though. We had Nick Foles, Justin Fields, and Andy Dalton. Can you see it?
I can see it, but barely.
Hold on. Bow. Can you see it?
There you go, yeah.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? We had Nick Foles, Justin Fields, and Andy Dalton. Listen, we know what that was. I feel like that was a L on Matt Nagy's part. And the biggest issue is how many people in there could have been the starting quarterback. Difference coming into this season, you've got Justin Fields, Trevor Siemian, and Nathan Peterman. Whether you like it or not, you 110% know who the starter is in that position. So, would you say that the quarterback room was better last season or this season?
I know. Definitely last season. I think the reason why that didn't work out is because one, like you said, nobody knew who the QB was going to be last year. But all in the same breath, I mean, it's like Nick Foles told Andy Dalton. He came on the sideline, hey, bro. Hey, this is just not gonna work. I don't know what's going on, but it was definitely last season. You had the pieces there, but that's on that.
You know what? The weird part to me is I would say this season's quarterback room is better, not from a play style, but just because we know, like Justin has the confidence to know. Like if Justin had that quarterback room last season, Trevor Siemian, Nathan Peterman, he knows he's the starter.
Right.
There's never a question. There's never a doubt. Matt Nagy, I mean, I believe to his credit, wanted Andy Dalton to be the number one. And then I still believe that somebody came down and was like, start the dude that we drafted.
Oh, yeah, but that's true. But at the end of the day, I just felt like still like you couldn't still try to sabotage. Cause I'm saying that he sabotaged him. I don't know what y'all going with, but I just feel like he tried to sabotage Justin to prove a point. But like, yo,
I don't believe anybody.
I told y'all he wasn't ready.
I hear Muggs say that. I don't believe that Muggs really do that, right? Because like you got to
He
think.
threw him under the bus in a press conference.
I'll agree that he throws him under the bus in the press conference, right? But like here's the thing, and even to me, right? Like I just never believed that a coach, like his career is tied to that, right? Like if Nagy never gets another head coaching job in the NFL, which I think he probably will, but if he never gets another head coaching job in the NFL, he screwed up his career trying to sabotage a player. That doesn't make any sense. Like by screwing you, I'm screwing me. Like he went from being a head coach to an offensive assistant. Like not even an offensive coordinator, an offensive assistant. So I don't buy into that. But I would say, like, here's the thing, and even shout out to Corey in the comments as well. He said if Fields goes down this year, we are done. We were good. Last year we were good. We weren't though, right? Like Andy Dalton went down and Fields came in. Fields went down and Nick Foles came in. We were never good. You know, you never felt like you had a chance. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't feel like we had a chance until, except when Andy was in there, because I knew Andy knew what was going on. He experienced it. This season,
I knew that they wasn't good at the film. I think,
but that's
it was Foles out that one week. Nagy called the play, and he rolled them out, and I was like, yeah, you rolling out with Foles. That's the move. All right.
Well, here's the thing too, right? Like, was the QB room better last year or this year? And if we're basing it off of if our starting quarterback goes down, we're done this year. If any team's starting quarterback goes down for the season, more times than not, the season is over. I mean, maybe you could say what the Ravens.
No.
Well, I
don't
mean,
care. I don't care how many times kids try to push that narrative.
I feel like Huntley could come in and give you better production. Not or similar production, right? Like he can throw the ball a little bit better. He can still move his feet. Like you're not switching anything. The rest of the team isn't vastly as affected as if we go from Justin Fields to Trevor Siemian. But what team are you talking about this season or any season that if they lose
Like,
their
do it got to be a playoff team?
good about?
Do it got to be a playoff team?
No, any team in the NFL.
I was gonna say us. I was gonna say Giants. We got Tyrod backing us up.
But Tyrod might not be your backup.
Hey, if he not, I got smoke with Dable.
I'm just saying.
If he not, I got
Tyrod,
smoke with
no,
Dable.
I'm saying Tyrod might be your starter.
Hey. Well,
Your backup might be Daniel.
well. Even then, I still feel okay because I know that Daniel Jones can do the same things. Can do the same things Tyrod can. I know they're not picking up the option, so that's like an interesting situation. But I mean, our backup and our like our starting QB is the same of the same elk. So I mean, I would
They
throw
both
us in
bad?
there.
Is that what you're saying? Like they both bad? I hope I'm gonna be real with you. I actually hope Tyrod start for y'all.
Dog,
I hope Tyrod start.
honestly, I hope so too because I want to see him get a shot. He's never really gotten a fair shake since, but well, I can't even say since Buffalo.
He didn't get a
He's
fair
never
shake
gotten
in
a fair shake.
Buffalo. They was like,
He's never
man,
gotten a
got us
fair
to the
shake.
playoffs. Cut this guy. Yeah, man,
Hey,
he
so
didn't get a fair shake in Buffalo.
LaShawn and Tyrod playoffs. I don't like this. Hey, we can't ship these dudes out and get some new guys.
So I mean, when I look at the Bears QB room, like I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like the knowing, right? Like knowing that Justin's gonna be the starter, knowing that he feels more confident knowing that he's the starter. I feel like that means a lot for the Bears, man. I do.
Yeah.
So for me, I would personally say the Bears QB room was better this year than last season. But hey, I do want to hear from you guys as well, man. We're going to drop that poll over on the community tab. So be in tune with us on that. Let's look at these running backs, man. Let's get into this running back room because that's an interesting one to me as well. Running backs last year, very underutilized here. You had David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, two guys
Juice.
that Juice, Damian Williams, if you want to talk about Juice, who had one of the smoothest touchdowns last season, man, when he hit that little spin move, two-step. Let me just walk in this one. Ryan Nall and Artavis Pierce. That was your running back room last year. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a very good running back room and an underutilized running back room. Running back room this season for the Chicago Bears: David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert. I don't even know how to say that boy first name. Darrington Evans and Treston Ebner. That's
Darrington Evans.
Darrington Evans. All right, and that's the rookie we drafted this year, Treston Ebner. Where would you say? Where would you be going? Would you say last season's room better, this season's room better?
I would say last season's but underutilized again.
I would
had
agree with you because Damian Williams to me was really, really good.
Yeah,
And I think we didn't use him enough.
The thing I was gonna add to that too was you had David, you had Juice, and I'm a huge, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Khalil. Two games, 200-yard performances, but like you said, Damian Williams, Super Bowl champion, sat out a year because of COVID. Really could have taught those guys some things. Really could have still did some things, but I mean the fact that you really didn't run the ball like that, another underutilized unit. So
yeah, I think that's the tough part about it, right? Like the only thing I feel like the running back room will be better this season because they're gonna use it.
They got a fullback. We finna,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey.
I think that's gonna be and you know maybe that's where instead of Damian Williams, right? Let's throw because we didn't have a fullback last season, so instead of Damian Williams, let's throw
Kari
Blazing game in there among them as well. Do you feel better about the Bears running back room, include the fullback in that this season or last season, knowing that Blazing game's in there as well?
Because that's a solid fullback that knows what he's doing, and he just came out of a run heavy system. So like he knows what's expected. And like you said, they're actually gonna use the room. So I mean I'm actually with you, I would say that last year that they would have used it was great, but the fact that they got a fullback this year and then they're going to use it
Yeah.
is a plus. So I would have to roll with this year.
He really puts him over the top too, right? Like I felt better about last year, but adding Blaze game in there, knowing that, and not only that, right? Like now you're talking about the Bears' run defense last season, or the Bears, I should say, run blocking last season wasn't the worst in the NFL. Wasn't god awful. They actually had a pretty good uh, 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 run blocking scheme last season, moving the ball. They just didn't use it enough. Very underutilized. I think this season they're going to continue with a very good run blocking scheme, and you're adding a fullback into that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can go out and drop and lay the hammer down. Somebody that can go out and block well for Montgomery coming back out of the backfield, feeling good on that. And then you include Justin Fields being able to be mobile with that, with Blazing Game being a extra blocker for him as well in that situation. I feel like this season's run game is going to be exponentially better than last season's. At least to me. That's where I would look at it, you know what I'm saying, and feel like the Bears are in a good position going forward with how they're going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
With how they're going to move the ball this season. Let's look at that wide receiver room last year, which is the biggest topic of debate, right? Like you talk about that wide receiver room. You got Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Jesper Horsted, Jakeem Grant came in halfway through the season. Marquise Goodwin, Isaiah Coulter, Damari Bird, Rodney Adams, and Simba Webster. Jesper Horsted's a wide receiver, by the way. I thought he was a tight end anyway.
Definitely a tight end.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know about that one.
Definitely a tight end,
yeah,
my guy.
Another group of guys who was very underutilized coming into this season. Your wide receiver room right now. Your starters, your first string, Darnell Mooney, Byron Pringle, Bayless Jones. Second string, Equinemius St. Brown, Taji Sharp, Dante Pettis. Third string, Daz Newsome, David Moore, and Simba Webster. And then fourth string, Isaiah Coulter still there, Chris Fink, and Kevin Sa. You feeling better about last year's wide receiver room or this year's?
I'm not gonna lie. I want to say this year's just because you got a lot of guys that didn't get an opportunity to really show what what they can do. I like the fact that you have experience in a room with Pringle being that he's a Super Bowl champion. But I mean, yeah, I think I would lean towards this year just because the guys didn't get a shot to show what they had, and now that they got the opportunity, I think you're gonna see some hungry guys. I think as far as last year goes, like you just had a lot of dudes that had a lot of speed. It was a lot of speed on that team. Just they couldn't run a route.
And you know what it is, right? Like, do you feel better that I think there's still a lot of speed on this team as well. I think there's a lot of speed on the Bears this year with Pringle, with Jones, and guys like that, right? But do you feel better about Pringle and Jones than you did about Goodwin and those guys last year, just based on the fact that you feel like they're going to be used in more of an underneath scheme, right? Where they're getting the ball out quicker, they're moving the ball out, to the point where they're actually able to get it. Whereas last season, we saw like Marquise Goodwin running 15, 20-yard routes, but it took forever for the play to develop, and Justin was on his back.
Yeah, I like I said, the reason why I think Pringle's gonna show out is because one you're coming from Kansas City, where basically it's all about like, yo, we gonna run these routes, but like I need you to be where you're going to be at all times. So I mean, if I need you to stop 5 short, catch the slant, like everybody's always where they need to be. So I think at minimum, Poles might use him as like that might be the third down dude.
Yeah.
That might be the third down receiver that you're looking for. You never know, but at minimum, you got guys in here that actually know how to run routes, and the fact that it's going to be an underneath scheme, they're gonna get the ball out quick, no waiting. And the thing I like from what Tim Patrick said, like he's gonna be the guy that's gonna have to
Lucas
get these
Patrick.
dudes ready
Keep
on
saying Tim
offense,
Patrick.
huh?
Lucas Patrick. You
I
keep
mean,
saying
look,
Tim
at
Patrick. Tim
yo,
Patrick.
I call this man Tim Patrick like, yo, y'all should have started. Yo, I called this man Tim Patrick like twice. Lucas Patrick, my fault. Wasn't there a dude on the Blackhawks named Tim Patrick? I think that's why I did that twice. Yeah, because somebody said something about the Blackhawks in the comments, and that's why I think that's why I did that. But anyway, the fact that Lucas Patrick is gonna come through and he said, "Yo, I need to be the guy that when
Well, it's
people come to
also
me."
the receiver out in
Oh,
Denver.
Denver, yeah.
But there might be that does sound familiar, actually.
Yeah. Man, familiar.
I don't know.
But yeah, the fact that he's gonna come out and be like, "Yo," he said it like these guys are gonna have to come to me, so I need to be ready to know, like what's gonna happen when these dudes have questions and everything like that. That shows to me that these dudes are ready to work and they're gonna be ready to produce. So I think that they got a good room this year.
And I think what people are underestimating is taking into account Darnell Mooney working with Justin Fields all off season, having time to do nothing but build up that relationship. If Darnell Mooney's your in question number one and Byron Pringle or Velus Jones, I would assume, though probably Byron Pringle ends up being your number two, no matter how much the Bears are trying to build up that Velus Jones is going to be the number one. And Byron Pringle is your number two. That's still opportunity for Byron Pringle to shine, right? Like you're not coming into this season trying to build up anybody to me but Darnell Mooney is Justin Fields' number one because that's who Justin Fields has picked to be his number one. That's the guy that Justin Fields has worked with the most as his number one. So if Justin Fields' number one is Darnell Mooney, who was a 1,000-yard receiver last season, who's going to be getting a lot of the best DBs on him, why can't Byron Pringle succeed? He caught the ball very well last season. He wasn't exactly a scrub, right? He was one of the best receivers in the NFL at creating space. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think it opens up opportunity for Byron Pringle to take a step. I would say your wide receiver room is better. Is it better this season or last season? It's tough, right? Because knowing what we know about Allen Robinson, like the names are better last season. You know what I'm saying? The names are better last season. Allen Robinson, Daz Newsome, Darnell Mooney, Marquise Goodwin, the names are better. But I think the production will be better this season. I'm telling you, having Aggie in the room opens everything up to me.
Yeah, no, I could see it being better off of the simple fact, like you said, there's not going to be 5,000 post routes being ran just to turn around and get somebody open. I mean, so the fact that it's just like that off the rip, like and like I said, you got Byron Pringle that want to come in and prove something. I mean, even so I want to get this right. Equanius St. Brown. Stop playing with me. I think St. Brown is gonna want to come in and do some things too. So the fact that you just got these hungry dudes together, I feel like it's gonna be a plus for them. It's gonna be a plus for them.
I'll say this. I don't expect nothing from St. Brown. I expect absolutely nothing from St. Brown because St. Brown got the ball thrown to him from one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and was terrible. Like I expect absolutely nothing from St. Brown. I think he got brought here so that he could teach better wide receivers how to run the system.
He on scout team everywhere. Hey, running like this. I just need you to come in, just do this. I don't need you to do nothing else. I need you to know off the rip before you sign this contract, you're not getting the ball.
I expect absolutely nothing. I think he's gonna play. I'm not saying I don't think he's not gonna play, but I expect absolutely nothing from Equinemius St. Brown, bro. I think he is going to be he's gonna be out there, he's gonna be open, the ball's gonna come to him, he's gonna drop it. I fully expect that. Because I watched him do it, bro. I used to be cracking up because you would watch Devontae Adams have these crazy games where he's just everything that comes to boom, caught, boom, caught, boom, caught. And anytime they went to anybody else, it was just like, good God, why can't you bring in the football? And St. Brown was the main one. I only know him because of watching him drop the football.
Dig that. Hey, bro. Hey, sure, he might be a campaign. You never know. Like, hey,
Campaign had to go to China to get respectable. Yeah, I'm saying, like, I expect.
What's up, kid? How you feeling, my dude?
I expect absolutely zero from St. Brown, but hey, we hope to see more, man. I hope I'm wrong, dog. Let's keep it going, man. Let's go back out to the tight end room. Tight end room is interesting here, right? Because again, names are better, and the tight ends are actually somebody that Justin really used. You know, Cole Kmet, Jesse James, J.P. Holtz, and Jimmy Graham last season, and Jesper Horsted. I don't know how Jesper Horsted got on the wide receiver list. We had 5 tight ends last season. This season, we're coming in, trimmed down a little bit, but not much. You got Cole Kmet, Ryan Griffin, James O'Shaughnessy, and Rice and John. Who you feeling better about? Last season's tight end room or this season's tight end room?
I want to say this season's tight end room just because I feel like Cole Kmet has another season.
Of what?
Under his belt, but now he knows like
what?
Wait, what happened?
I said another season of what?
Nah. He got another season on his belt. You feel me? Where I feel like now this is the season for him to put it all together. If he don't put it together this season, I was just wrong about the pick, and everybody else was wrong because he went from a steal to being absolutely
cheeks.
Yeah, I don't. But yeah, that's correct. Like at minimum, I think what it should have taught him when Jimmy Graham was here. Like, this is how you get in the end zone. This is how you position your body. But the biggest thing, I really hope they use him within the offense this year because I still think this dude can be productive. If they use him right. Now the jury is still out because he did have some drops. He did have some drops, but I don't know. We'll see. But I'm inclined to go with the room this year than more than last year's.
See, here's my issue with it. I can't say they didn't use Cole Kmet right. Cole Kmet literally did not catch touchdowns in the end zone.
Heck, so he was the Julio tight ends?
No, they went to him. He just couldn't catch him. And my biggest issue was, right, again, Matt Nagy trying to force feed the issue. We have to turn Cole Kmet into a player. We have to let Cole Kmet or prove that Cole Kmet is going to be better. No, your goal is to win games. And if Cole Kmet can't keep up, Cole Kmet can't keep up. But you know who was catching touchdowns when he would get in the end zone? Jimmy Graham, Jesper Horsted. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were players on the team. I think the tight end room was better last year because I believe that you had better tight ends in the room, and they didn't want to use Cole, or they overly wanted to use Cole, right? Like, and the weird part about Cole is, right, in between the numbers, Cole was actually decent.
Yeah,
Came down,
he's good.
able to come down with the ball, able to move the ball on third down, kind of improved on the fumble issues. But when it came to the end zone, where I need you to just be, what is he, 6'7", 6'6", something like that?
I think this dude is 6'7".
Where I need you to be a basketball player. Hey, my boy, get down there, box out, because the cornerback.
But that's what I'm saying. He should have learned something from Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, but clearly he was struggling with it, right? Like, when we saw them go to Kmet in the end zone, Kmet couldn't come down with the ball. When we saw them go to Graham, when we saw them go to
260,
He's what?
6'6", 260.
Well, if you don't post up and jump, you know what I'm saying? When we saw them go to Jimmy Graham, when we saw them go to Jesper Horsted, the other tight end, like I felt like they were like, Cole has to figure this out. And if Cole doesn't figure it out, then we're just gonna ride with Cole and be bad. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was one point for me with the Bears. I like the tight end room last season over the tight end room this season. This season, you're coming in with Cole Kmet, Ryan Griffin, James O'Shaughnessy, and Rice and John. I feel like you're literally like, yep, Cole, you're the tight end. And if you don't play well, we just don't have a tight end. Like that's what I feel like you're going into with this with your room this year. I don't know, man. I don't know. By the way, appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. We gonna keep this mug going through the Bears lineups right now based on last season and this season. If you're in here and enjoying the content, man,
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us. And I will say this, I've done a lot of slander of Cole Kmet here today, right? But I will say this, though. Do you think that, because Cole Kmet, one of the few people that was left over from last season, do you think that Cole Kmet will take a step just based on the fact that the same quarterback would be throwing him the ball every play?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, if you look at last season, what you had 3 quarterbacks.
You basically, yeah.
You had 3 quarterbacks in there last season, so the fact that he's in there and then Justin's in there, they can kind of build that rapport.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I will say that I think that Justin learning kind of what his game is and what he's able to do, I would agree that I think that he's going to take a step. I don't know if that means that he's going to take a step perfectly. Yeah, I'm saying, like, all of a sudden he's going to be that tight end that we drafted that we thought we were getting. So it's going to be interesting to see. Let's take a look at this offensive line now. Interesting. Last season's offensive line. Larry Borum, Elijah Wilkinson. Well, Borum, all right, man. He got hurt. Elijah Wilkinson, Jermaine Affetti. You can drop on that. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Jermaine Affetti.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Yeah. Still does. Alex Taylor, Jason Peters, Tevin Jenkins, Alex Bars, Cody Whitehair, Lashavius Simmons, Dieter Iceland, Sam Mustipher. Hold on. One more.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
James Daniels. Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, you guys.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Two
Awful.
dudes.
Two dudes. Yeah. 2 dudes. God awful. Like, horrible. Terrible. Coming into this season, though. Tevin Jenkins is your starting left tackle. Cody Whitehair, Lucas Patrick, Dakota Dozier, Larry Borum. Your second string there. Julian Davenport, Dieter Iceland, Sam Mustipher. Hold on.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
But he's the backup this season. Willie Wright, Lashavius Simmons, Sean Coleman, Jatire Carter, Doug Kramer, Braxton Jones, and then Zachary Thomas is your 4th string left tackle at the moment. What are you feeling better about, last season or this season?
Definitely this season. I mean, if you come in and look at it, like, I mean, and it's not for our reason. I think Chicago Bears Pro Football Focus had Tevin. They said when he was in there for like the 4 games, he didn't allow pressure. Like, so that for the 4 games you not allowing the pressure, that shows me when healthy, like you can absolutely protect Justin when need be, and I feel like they went out and did that. Now the question is, can they stay healthy? I actually like. I actually mess with Larry Bourne. I mess with Larry Bourne.
Yeah.
Lucas Patrick.
There you go.
And Lucas Patrick going. I got it. Lucas Patrick is going out. So now, yeah, I definitely feel better about this year's room than I do last year. And you might as well. I mean, you might as well add Kareem Blossom game or
Blazing game, yeah.
you might as well add Blazing game to the list too, because he's gonna help as well. You know, in some of those tight end sets, you know, when they're running the ball and such. So I mean, I definitely got to go with this room over last year's room.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I feel better about this year's room, mostly because I feel like there's some leadership and understanding of the system in this year's room. And of course, you know, like again, you have to take coaching into account. Now, here's the thing: I don't think there's any coaching that gets taken into account when you're talking about Jermaine Ifedi.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
I think he's the human turnstile. I think he actually is a terrible football player. I think he's really bad at his job. And I feel sorry for Marcus Mariota and
Bro, I'm sorry, but I think he's legitimately going over there to die.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, I feel sorry for him, right? Because it is what it is. He's going down. My bad. Stay alive. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
And he was mad serviceable.
He was god awful, and he had the nerve to try and get on Tevin Jenkins for standing up for his quarterback. How about get out of there?
He's a lame.
I think Sam Mustipher being the second string guy tells you all you need to know about him, especially with Lucas Patrick coming in, right? Like the fact that Lucas Patrick instantly was able to take his job, and Lucas Patrick was a second string guy that stepped in last season. You know what I'm saying? Like that tells you where we were at with that offensive line. I would agree with you. This season's offensive line is going to be 1,000 times better. I also think system plays a lot into that. I do think that last season's offensive line was a better run blocking offensive line. I think that if we had run the ball more, we might not talk about this offensive line nearly as bad. Now, I do think that their pass pro was god awful, and I think that'll be improved. So I still got this season's O-line as the better O-line, but I can't like, I think there are players that would have been bad no matter what. I think they're like Sam Mustipher to me wouldn't have been a starting center in the NFL no matter what. Jermaine Ifedi's not a starting right tackle in the NFL no matter what. But I do think that scheme played a lot into that. We might have looked at that offensive line a little bit better if the Bears actually utilized what the team was kind of built to do. You know what I'm saying? The team wasn't built to pass the ball down the field, and yet every play we saw Justin Fields dropping back trying to get that mug down there. It made no sense. So at all. Good Lord. I don't know. I feel now here's the question, right? How much does the loss of James Daniels affect your viewpoint going into this season, right? Like that's kind of the question there. That's kind
of this is the thing. I mess with James Daniels.
Yeah,
I mess with James Daniels. James Daniels was the one upside. I mean, outside of Larry Bourne that we had to look forward to, because I think Larry Bourne I think his problem was a concussion issue, but the fact that James Daniels left, I mean that'll hurt them a little bit, but I feel like with the pieces in place,
yeah,
they should not be as bad. They should not be as bad as last year, because if you look at it, I mean Lucas Patrick, I mean we talk about it all the time. Like Bears are printing D linemen. If the Bears is printing D linemen, the Packers is printing O linemen. So the fact that you got him, he was a second string, and like you said, he's coming in to start off rip is that's amazing. And then you come in, you got the rest of the guys. And like I said, these are good problems outside of the back issue with Tevin Jenkins. Like this offensive line should be improved. I don't think it'll hurt them as much.
I think that's the biggest question, right? Like the here's the one weird part about it, right? Bears fans, like we're all nervous on Tevin Jenkins, but are we nervous that he can't play?
No, no,
I'm not nervous that he can't
4
play. I'm
games.
nervous that he can't stay healthy.
4 games, no court, no QB pressure.
Yeah.
Like we good. He could play. It's just about to say.
And that's how I feel, right? Like I'm not nervous that Tevin Jenkins can play. I'm nervous that he's going to be healthy enough to be on the field. I think we saw, listen, up and down season last season, right? By the way, hit that like button if you're in this mug, man. Subscribe to the page. We're talking Chicago Bears right now, breaking down the roster of this season versus last season. I'm not like worried that Tevin Jenkins is going to come out and if he's on the field for 16 games, he's going to be god awful. I'm worried that Tevin Jenkins is going to be on the field for 16 games. Like that's all I'm concerned about coming into this season. And if he is healthy, I think the Bears are going to be okay at the tackle position. Weirdly enough to say, right? Like I just do. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me being too optimistic. Maybe I'm sipping the Bears Kool-Aid on that one. But I really feel like Tevin Jenkins is a pretty good football player. I just feel like, hey, we drafted a guy with a bad back. Like that's been my biggest concern, not only this season, last season. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna have this dude around for 5 years and we're gonna be like, hey, when he's on the field, he's great, but he's never on the field. Like
Yeah,
that's gonna be,
yeah, exactly.
that's gonna be the tough part to see, man. Let's look at this defensive line, man. We got some names on this defensive line last season and this season. Last season, Travis Gibson, Damian Square, Robert Quinn, who set the single season sack record for the Chicago Bears at 18.5. Cassius Marsh, Ladarius Mack, Marcus Hunt, Akeem Hicks, Mario Edwards, Chris
Ain't
Tonga.
that Khalil Mack brother?
That is Khalil Mack's brother. He got cut
Okay.
this season. Chris Tonga, Bilal Nichols, Lakel London, Eddie Goldman, Angelo Blackson, Angelo Blackson. Yeah, that's it. Because in my mind, I was like, "Hey, where's Khalil Mack?" But Khalil Mack was a linebacker, technically. Wasn't he? And then this season, we've got Al-Quadin Muhammad, Chris Tonga back in there again, Justin Jones, Robert Quinn, Travis Gibson, Lakel London, Angelo Blackson, Mario Edwards. So a lot of guys that were getting a lot of tick last year as well because of health injuries or health issues moving to the second string this season. Jeremiah Acho, Micah Dutredway, I'm not even, y'all see this name right here. What in Isaiah Alafua? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Dominique Robinson, and then Sam Karma and Carson Taylor.
Azoya?
No clue. I'm not even. I
yo.
got nothing for you on
All
that.
right.
Do you feel like the Bears D line was better last season, or will it be better this season? Remember, they're switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3.
I would say it was better last season. It was better last season. I mean, when you look at it, I just feel like last year they couldn't really stay healthy. One, and then two, like you turn around. I mean, if you on the field for long stretches at a time, I mean you bound to give up something. So the thing that I like about this year's D line though is that you do have some guys that are coming over. It's still here from last year's team, like Tonga solid, Gibson solid. You turn around, then you got Quinn. I mean, it's Quinn. I want to say Quinn. Is Quinn coming back? Is Quinn not?
I think here's the thing about Robert Quinn, right? And it's a good conversation to get into as well. You also got to take into account because it was a 3-4 last season, right? Jeremiah Acho's in there. Khalil Mack is also on that line last year. Alec Ogletree, not really on the line, kind of played up, but more so played back in that one. Yeah, those are kind of the guys that were more so on the line last season. But no, I feel like when you're talking about is Robert Quinn coming back, Robert Quinn says he hopes the Bears don't trade him. Like I get like Jason Lockenfora comes out and he says we believe that Robert Quinn wants out and we believe it, but Robert Quinn said before the season, or he already said in an interview, like, I hope that the Bears don't trade me. I understand it's a business, but I don't want the Bears to trade me.
Okay, so we
Player
gonna
at his
add him.
word. Jason Lockenfora, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Jason Lockenfora is probably the worst Bears. Like he doesn't really report on the Bears, but just about anything he says Bears wise is usually wrong.
Hey, so you
Like, he's
don't
pretty
report. You don't report, but when you do, it's
it's usually wrong.
so far from the truth.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, bro. Like I'm almost. I'll be honest with you. If anybody else had said that Robert Quinn doesn't want to be here, I might have believed it, or at least given it a thought. Right?
Hey, Casey Johnson would have said that. You know?
Literally, because he did, bro. If Malika Andrews had reported it from a whole different sport, I'd have been like, Malika got sources though. Jason reporting it absolutely made me feel 110% confident that Robert Quinn will be on the Chicago Bears this season.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Oh man, and that's tough. That's tough. You barely report and you bad at your job. That's tough.
He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. Yeah, I think I'd agree with you though. I would agree that the Bears defensive line was better last season. The issue with me on the D line this season is that there's just a lot of question marks, right? Like, is Justin Jones gonna be better if he's not just like Justin Jones with the Chargers was more of the third down run stop guy, right? Like, is Justin Jones gonna be our Akeem Hicks in this situation? You know what I'm saying? Can Chris Tonga take another step? I just feel like there's a lot of question marks with these guys. Mario Edwards, I feel like he's a really good player and can come in and give you some good things. Gibson, Blackson. I feel like the Bears, while I do think that we took a step back at the defensive line position, I don't think that the Bears are god awful here. And then I really want to see what Dominique Robinson's going to give you. He's the rookie that we drafted this year. I think he's going to be able to attack completely differently when you're talking about when based on how these guys have talked about him. Based on how the coaches have talked about him, they're like, dog, he just does so much. He does so much. Like, he's not refined at all. He's not ready to be like the starter at that defensive end position. But if we can get him to this point, he's going to be ridiculous in the NFL. So
I mean, and that's why the development comes in at. But I mean, honestly, if I had to give him a grade, I'd probably say a C plus, like for the D line, because I feel like it's you brought a lot of pieces over that were here the last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, and look, you got to think about it. The guy from the Bengals that they had to cut.
Oh, you're talking about now I can't think of his name because we cut him and might bring him back at that. Why can't I think of his name right now? Chat, help us out here.
Well, he was on the Bengals last season, but you add him.
Why can't I think of his name right now?
You add him to this list if he's healthy. I mean, then I mean, you upgraded to probably B minus B plus.
I mean, Larry
Ogunjobi.
Shout out to Tyler. All he dropped was Larry. He knew it would jog our memory. Tyler with confidence in us. Hey, Tyler did it like Larry. Ogunjobi. There it is, Tyler. There. Appreciate that, brother.
I knew. I was just testing your knowledge to see if you knew what I had.
Oh man. you could still go get Ogunjobi too. That's going to be the interesting thing to see. But
I'm not mad at you. You
much less price.
You sit him for the season.
I feel bad.
Sit him for the season. Come back, possibly.
Well, I think he's going to be able to play. I think he just couldn't pass a physical at that point, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be able to play. Let's look at this linebacking room. See where the improvement is on that as well. Get this up here again. Bang. Shout out to you, Tanner, for pulling up. Said, thanks for getting our afternoon started. Fellas, much respect. Always love, my boy. You know how we get down over here, man. Linebacker room right now, last season, Danny Trevathan, Charles Snowden, Alec Ogletree, Khalil Mack, who, like I said, on the line, but it was a 3-4 last season. Jeremiah Acho, also on the line, but it was a 3-4 last season. Roquan Smith, Christian Jones, Josh Woods, Sam Kamara, Caleb Johnson, Joel Igwambe, and Joel Igwambe. Let's go with that. Them African names sometimes be getting me. I ain't gonna stunt with you. Looking at the linebacker room this season, though, Nicholas Morrow, Roquan Smith, Matthew Adams, Joe Thomas, Caleb Johnson, Jack Sandburn, Christian Albright, Noah Dawkins, Ladarius Mack. And then hold on, let me and then Jack. Did I say everybody? Yeah, okay, I got everybody. All right, cool. What do you think? Last season or this season?
Last season.
Really?
Yeah. I would have to go with last season. I'm just looking at it like it's Khalil Mack. And I'm not gonna lie, like I do gotta give a shout out to the Bears because Khalil wanted to play on the championship team. So the fact that you actually did give him to the Chargers and stuck to your word and did that, I gotta clap it up for them. But I would still say last season because if healthy, I mean it's Khalil Mack. I mean if we really looking at it, I mean the issue that I got with this is that the linebacker room outside of Roquan is, I mean, Nicholas Morrow, nice name, but I mean it's not really. It's not that he really does that jumps off the page.
He's a role fitter.
To me, yeah, and it's like that. He's a role filler, but we said that a lot. But we knew it was gonna be like that. Coming into this season, because like you said, you got money next season with the free agents that are that are gonna come in. You're gonna look to improve, but I think he's gonna be a role filler. I think that at minimum next year you keep him on the roster just in case somebody goes down. But he's just okay to me. I mean, I think that it's just okay this year. Now when you talk about the corner room, that's a different story. But
I feel like, right, like you didn't get a lot out of that second linebacker. And that was a huge loss for the Bears, right? Like you got a little bit out of Ogletree for parts of the season, right? He was a nice piece to have in there. You got nothing out of Danny Trevathan. Christian Jones, nice name. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't really get anything out of that second spot. It was Roquan and the rest of them boys. So to me, the fact that you've got Nicholas Morrow coming in here, I know Nicholas Morrow can give me production. I don't need him to be the number one. I need him to be solid. You know what I'm saying? I know that Nicholas Morrow can come out and stand next to Roquan Smith and give me very good production. He's not going to be the best linebacker on the team. He's not going to be the best player on that defense. He's going to be a guy whose name you hear every now and then. But here's the thing: I don't think he's going to be the guy that screws up. I don't think he's going to be the guy that when you look at his game, we're talking about him like we talked about a lot of guys last season. Is Why was he there? Why did he make that play? Why did he attack at that point? Why, like, he's just the guy that knows how to do his job. Sometimes that's all you need on a team. Guys that can do their job at a minimum can get you a long way. And so for me, I think the linebacker room is much better this season because I feel like there's just guys that can do their job.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing. So I think that just having Roquan back there will make him better. How much better? We'll see. But I'm gonna still roll with last year's in this case.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, man. This is gonna be the funny one here. Look at this DB room. Now we're gonna combine them all. We're gonna put safeties and cornerbacks together. We're just going the full DB room here. All right. Divergent, Kendall Vildor, Tez Tabor, Duke Shelley, the infamous Duke Shelley, Thacarius Keys, Michael Joseph, Jalen Johnson, Thomas Graham, Xavier Crawford, Artie Burns, Eddie Jackson, Marquis Christian, DeAndre Houston, Carson, Deion Bush. Those were your DBs last season. Coming into this season, we've got Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, Kyler Gordon, Dane
Commissioner Gordon,
Cruikshank, one or the other, Elijah Hicks, Thomas Graham Jr., DeAndre Houston Carson, AJ Thomas, Bo Pete Keys, and Michael Joseph. And then also Duke Shelley, my bad, Tavion Young, Kendall Vildor, and the Lamar Jackson. Didn't know he was doubling up on that as well. You know what I'm saying? What would you say? That DB room better this season or last season?
Hey man, if you got Lamar back there playing DB with that speed, hey, sign me up. I'm gonna go with this year's, and this is why. Jalen Johnson had as good a year as we thought he could possibly have last year. Because I remember I was the main one. I looked at the schedule last year. I was like, Jalen the number one, and he got to do this the whole season. I wasn't sure, and then like they wasn't throwing the ball his way. So I was like, hey, okay, Jalen Johnson has improved. You go to the other side of it. I mean, if you look at it, like I said, Kyler Gordon is a steal. Kyler Gordon is a steal. Everything that you heard out of OTAs, that I mean, that they telling you he is steal. Yeah. Just know when he clamping them up, that's Commissioner Gordon. Hey, and your favorite receiver, he locked them up. And then if you turn around, I have my doubts on Jaquan Brisker, but I went back and looked at the tape. I think he could definitely help them out some. I think that you won't be seeing as much over the top stuff this season from other teams because of that DB room. And then if you look at Cruikshank, shout out to Coach T because he did a film breakdown. It's definitely gonna help when they're going against those bigger tight ends.
Yeah.
And he's definitely gonna get a shot to show what he has now that he actually has like a full on like this is my role now. I think he'll be able to step up. So I think that this DB room out of all the rooms, this is the one to me that I feel like at most is going to surprise a lot of people when the season starts.
I would agree. I definitely listen. I'm gonna be real with you. I know there's people that loved Sean Desai. I don't know why you loved him, but there's people that loved Sean Desai last season. Thought the Bears wanted him to come back. I'm glad the Bears did not bring him back.
And Thomas Graham Jr., my fault.
Because if you're sitting there and you're evaluating talent and you thought that Duke Shelley was better than Thomas Graham or Kendall Vildor was better than Thomas Graham, and in 4 games he showed you that he was 3 times the player that they were, I'm glad he's not here.
That man was looking at the practice squad for weeks and was like, "No, this is okay,
Bro.
This is okay."
He watched that man. He watched that man every day in practice and was like, "Nah, he's got it. Like that's exactly the player I would expect to be there. Like he's god awful." I would absolutely say the Bears DBs are better this year. Not only just because that we're not going to see Kendall Vildor on the field or Duke Shelley on the field, right? But also because, right, like the guys that we thought were pretty good are moved to lower spots on the field, and that means that they're deeper now, right? So you're talking about starting off the season with Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Cruikshank, my bad, Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson. You will see Duke Shelley. You'll probably see Duke Shelley, but Duke Shelley wasn't like the worst that we saw. Like Duke Shelley was in a bad situation last year, because they literally were like, "Hey, we get that you're new to this thing, but figure it out." You know what I'm saying? And even though you weren't the starter your rookie year, now that in the second year you're a starter, just bad all around, just bad all around. But when I look at how deep they are now, like Thomas Graham and DeAndre Houston Carson were, I don't know why my voice cracked right there, were two guys who made impact plays on the field. They're probably your third string. So you're going deeper now at that DB position. You're going deeper at that cornerback position, at your safety position. And I think that when you talk about guys that can make plays, right, and you limit their plays, similar to how we talk about with Justin Fields. Hey, Thomas Graham Jr. looked really good last season for quarter, half of a game, right? Like there were plays that you could talk about for half of a game. That you felt good about if you add all the plays up, right? Like, okay, let's reduce his role to where he's getting in that amount of plays. Now you're going to get the best out of Thomas Graham Jr. Similar with DeAndre Houston Carson. Now you're going to get the best every time he's on the field out of DeAndre Houston Carson. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing to me with this DB room. That now it goes deeper. I do think Jaquan Brisker is going to be a freak of nature. I do think that Kyler Gordon is going to be really, really good standing out there next to Jalen Johnson. And I think that the Bears DB room is going to take a step. I also think but I said that defensive line took a step forward. And so to me, that's going to be the biggest impact, right? It doesn't matter how great your DBs are. If they got to hold up for 7, 8, 9 seconds, like no DBs are holding up that long. You know what I'm saying?
No.
We watched some of the best get cooked last season because of good defense, good offensive line protection, and just taking forever to get to the quarterback, right?
Jalen Ramsey got
torched. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can't count Jalen Ramsey in that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because Jalen Ramsey got torched versus a bad offensive line. Jalen Ramsey just got torched. Jamar Chase owned that man.
Tom Brady did it.
Tom Brady torched that man too.
Tom Brady did
had a bad
hey, that was the happiest man on the earth when Tom said he was retiring.
You know what I'm saying?
He said, throw that last touchdown on somebody else.
Oh man, so we broke down the offense and the defense. I mean, we could break down the special teams real quick. Do we really care? Special teams, you had Cairo Santos, Pat O'Donnell, and Patrick Scales, basically. Returning the ball, you had Jakeem Grant. And that's pretty much your special teams at that. This season, you're probably talking about, let me see. Let me get the special teams one up here. This season, you're probably talking about pretty much the same thing, but I would say you're probably going to see a little Velus Jones back there. So you got Cairo, Trenton Gill's your punter this year, Daz Newsome on punt return, Khalil Herbert on kick return. I don't know if we'll see that long. Patrick Scales, your long snapper. I would think you probably see some Velus Jones on punt return as well, but maybe they will make that a Daz Newsome specific spot. Improved special teams or not? Who cares, right?
I guess.
Who cares, right? Like,
I ain't even got.
I mean, overall though, as we come to the last part of that, right? Like, do you feel like the Bears are a better football team this season based on or last season? And do you feel like it's because of the roster construction or just based on the fact that Matt Nagy's not going to be in there?
80-20 roster construction's way.
Roster construction. So you think that the Bears built a better roster this
Yeah,
season?
no, they definitely built a better roster. They definitely built a better roster, and honestly, that this roster is gonna help out Justin so much that I feel like you're going to see the improvement. He's saying the right things. We've seen the right things on tape. Everything coming out of OTAs says that they have a plan in place. This isn't last year where it's, oh well, we have to figure out the whys, and that's real because this not like it's none of that. They actually have a plan in place. We're going to get a fullback. We got a fullback. We're probably gonna have our third down guy, and Pringle. For right now, we think we have a number one, and Mooney. At best, he's probably a really great number two. And by the way, next season we can pay a number one.
Yeah,
we can pay a number one. There's 5 guys that are coming up for a contract, and I guarantee one of them won't be with their team. So, at minimum,
NFL works at this point. Honestly, though, like it's
like,
really
hey,
it's kind of becoming the NBA more so in that aspect of it. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say,
there's a lot of guys that'll be like, "Yeah, I'm done with my team."
oh no, yeah. Like I said, it's 5 guys. At least 1 or 2 of them won't be with their team next season. So it's like that. Poles built a great roster. He's given Eberflus what he's needed for this year.
Yeah,
and now we just got to see how it goes.
it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We got about 30 minutes left on this mug, man. So we're gonna be breaking down a little bit around the league as well, talking about what's going on in the NBA playoffs, talking about gotta get to the White Sox this weekend, actually doing some work on them Yankees. And by the way, what's going on with Josh Donaldson getting
We got smoke for Josh Donaldson.
uh,
By the way,
about him. Oh no, he's in the building. You got to take the W down, though. You still got the W hanging.
I gotta tell. It's emotional. It's emotional.
So you're really done with the Cubs.
It's emotion. It's emotion.
So you're really done with the Cubs, huh?
It's bro. I told you it's. Fam, I'm not paying 100, bro. I'm not paying 100, bro. I'm not doing it, bro.
To watch it bad. Wow. Hey, I never even updated the poll on that. Let's double check the poll on that. There was a lot of people that was like, you cannot switch your fandom.
So
let's see how many votes we got on that. We got 209 votes on this topic. Saying that Ringo says because the Cubs are on the marquee now and he's not paying for it, he wants to switch to being a Sox fan. Should we allow it? 35% said yes, 65% said no.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway. Fam, bro, I have not caught a game, so I know nothing.
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Say that they start winning again. You can't switch back.
But see, I can't even enjoy that because I can't see it.
I get that.
Like,
I get that.
I can't. Yeah, we out here killing it. I can't tell you who specifically killing. Who specifically did their thing. Like,
wow. Hey, listen, it don't. Here's the thing for me. I'm willing to let everybody be a fan of the White Sox because it doesn't bother me. But That's an interesting. I'll say this, right? That tells the difference in how we was brought up. Because you were allowed to pick your team, you were allowed to kind of like pick the teams you wanted to be fans of. It just like for me, like not to say I wasn't allowed to pick my team, but I kind of wasn't. Like I knew I was gonna be a Sox fan because my dad was a Sox fan, and my dad took me to Sox games.
Mhm.
If I was gonna switch, I don't know. Yeah, I'm saying. Hey, Crit said you switching because you can't watch them. Come on, bro.
No, bro, this has been a 2-year. This is a running on a 2-year thing.
Hey, Crit said catch the radio call.
The marquee not going nowhere. Like,
Chris said catch that radio call, my boy.
Hey, and y'all talking about me. Hey, my pop's favorite team, the Warriors.
His favorite basketball team of all time, or just right now?
No, that's not right now. Hey, when Steph come on, he locked in. When Steph come on, that man locked in.
That's funny.
When Steph come on, that man locked in.
Hey man, let's keep it going, my boy. Hey, listen, welcome to the South Side. I guess you gotta take that W down, though. You gotta burn that flag. We gotta.
Hey, nah, I'm already. I got plans in place. I'm finna take that down. Give me a little you dig up.
Steve-O said, Ringo, your family just all messed up.
bro. I'm telling, like, if you watch the game with my, like, strictly just with my mom and dad, bro, you would swear like it's no Chicago allegiance at all. The way they just the way that they rap for the Warriors, bro, like it's ridiculous.
Hey, it's interesting. That's funny, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. The fact that he's like, I'm gonna just switch up my team. I couldn't do it. Like if the Sox did that, I will say this, right? If the Sox went to Marquee and they were bad and I couldn't watch them either, I would have a tough time. I would never be able to root for the Cubs. I just wouldn't. I would never be able to.
But that's the thing though. But you wouldn't. But okay. But like my thing, because I know we got to get into the other topics. Like you actually gotta at least listen to the game. Like that would irk me that I can't see it.
Oh, I'm not saying that I couldn't switch my fandom for the Sox, right? Like especially if you're bad. Like I would always kind of like watch you from afar, but I would never be like, well, I can watch the Cubs and they're still Chicago, so I'ma just watch the Cubs. Like, nah. I would absolutely be a full-on Brewers fan, or I would be a like somebody that's still gonna kick the crap out of the Cubs, or a Cardinals fan or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never root for the Cubs. But hey man, do what you do, my boy. That's your I'm never gonna tell nobody how to fan. I'm never gonna tell nobody who to root for. There's a lot of people in Chicago that's not gonna accept it.
Hey man. Plus the whole when they got into the fight, and then bro was telling him to giving out instructions on the fight. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Hey, bro, y'all don't understand what we've been through.
Hey man, let's get into some of this. Let's get into some of this basketball, man. We got 87 in the chat, 63 likes. Shout out to y'all, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on the channel.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
The only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks, so make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Let's get into these playoffs a little bit, my boy, because I think the question on everybody's mind after what we saw last night from the Golden State Warriors, is it over? Is it over?
It's over. It's over. It's over. Like that. Like last night.
No first team to come back down 3-0 in their future.
Nah, it's over. Last night was your best shot just because you pretty much like you got to think about it. Nobody shot the ball well on either side. Like this basically was your game. Like I mean, and you tweeted it out. The game before that, bro, it was legitimately 26-10.
Bro,
it
was
was
up 19 twice.
bro. There was up 19 twice. That game came back, won that. Came back this game. Hey, we don't shoot the ball well. Hey, that's fine. We clutch up when we need to. And Wiggins did what he was supposed to do. On Doncic.
Wiggins is
Listen,
so interesting, bro. He's so interesting.
it's over. It's
Yeah.
over.
You know what puts I will say this, right? A fully healthy Warriors team, everybody talks about Jordan Poole, what he can bring to the table and stuff like Andrew Wiggins is what puts them over the top.
When he hooping like that, it's like legitimately.
But the difference is Andrew Wiggins' talent level. There's a reason Andrew Wiggins went first in the draft. Andrew Wiggins' talent level is number 1 draft pick talent. And I don't know if there's ever been a player that I've said this about. Andrew Wiggins is absolutely talented enough to be a number 1 pick. If they drafted it again and he played the way he played, I would still pick Andrew Wiggins number 1. Andrew Wiggins' mindset is not good enough to be a number 1 pick. His mindset isn't good enough to be the best player on the team. His mindset isn't strong enough to deal with everything that comes with being the number 1 on a team. But right now, Andrew Wiggins is essentially the 3, the 4, the fourth best option on that team. Your 4th best option has number 1 level talent.
These are good problems.
That's crazy. Andrew Wiggins, to me, can play just like Jason Tatum. He just doesn't have the mindset to be that good. To deal with the pressures
that's a fact.
Being that guy.
That's a fact.
Like that, I don't know if I've ever said that about a player.
But you know what though? I'll say this, and I gotta give respect to KG because he said it, like he said in the interview, he was like, I had to talk to him one day, and I realized like after that conversation, it's not that he doesn't, because he said it's not the fact that Andrew does not care about basketball, because he does. It's just like he's like, that's not the absolute number one priority. Like he knows he can go out there and hoop, but he don't want the, like he don't want the like I don't want to be the number 1 option. Like I love ball. I just don't want to be the number 1 option. This is not my scene. You place me anywhere else, I got you. And like the whole series, he's showing that. Like you slow down Doncic. You come in, you come in, you switch on Brunson late. He does everything that they ask him to do. He legitimately does it perfectly, and nobody's putting pressure on him to do anything.
Yeah.
So he's just going out there doing what you feel me? He would normally do when he was getting to 18. Like
he's on the perfect team for it, right? Because when you look at him, he's not the number 1 offensive weapon. He's not the number 1 defensive weapon on the team. Yeah, he's guarding Luka.
Doing an excellent job.
But your defensive leader is still Draymond. Like he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be out there and play ball. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be out there and play ball. I think that is game changing for the Golden State Warriors. I agree with you. I think this series is done. I said that coming into it. They might still get one. They still might get the second one in Dallas.
Phil, I thought they was going, bro. I thought for sure they was going to get the one in Golden State because they couldn't miss.
Yeah,
like they legitimately couldn't miss. They was up 19 twice, and then it's just like, all right, stop doing everything that we did, and let's just start playing like a clock. Like we got everything we did, and let's start playing like a clock. Like legit. Outside of the game in Golden State,
what messed them up was them going to that 2-3.
Yeah, and then you turn around and they play as good enough defense as you can.
I'm about that the 3-2. When they went to that 3-2, it really threw off their game.
Throughout the whole game, it was like as soon as they went to that zone, it was over. It was over. Like It's wild. Like Dwight Powell out here serving no purpose. Like he be on the floor. He actually got to take him out. Like, and then it's nah, bro. It's over, man.
Yeah,
I don't even think they get a game.
here's the question mark now on the other side of things, right? When we talk about the where the playoffs are right now, both teams essentially have thrown haymakers, and you kind of got a little bit more of a competitive game in that last game, but not really. Can Boston play better? Like, dog, that last game, Boston legitimately won everything but the game. Boston shot the ball better from the field. They shot the ball better from three. They out-rebounded the Miami Heat. Their defense, they had 7 blocks. Miami had 4. Now, the difference is Miami's defense forced 23 turnovers. They had 19 steals.
19, bro.
Right,
Definition of we in them lanes.
points off turnovers, 33-9. Yeah, I'm saying that was the biggest difference there. But I mean, dog, like everything else, they played better. They won. They got more foul calls. They spent more time at the free throw line. Like, is there anything that Boston can do? Like, Boston literally had their best game and lost by 6.
I tell bro, but
Like, the turnovers were awful, right? Like, you can't listen. They were turning the ball over left and right. I don't know what the heck that was, but they shot the ball. They did everything. Oh, and by the way, Jimmy Butler wasn't there for the second half. Jimmy Butler didn't play in the second half. Literally, they did everything they could. Like, okay, they got to clean up the turnovers. You gave up 33 points off of turnovers. That's just awful. But what else can they do? That's probably their best. They're probably done. I feel like they're done. I feel like that was their best punch.
So as y'all know, like I said in the Discord. Now I told y'all. So we had a funeral for my uncle. That Saturday. So coming in that Friday, I had family coming in. Come to find out, like one of my uncles he was a Boston fan, and legit, like we stayed over. You know watched the full game, and I'm legit. We was watching the first half, and you feel me? We up. I'm hyped. You feel me? That they come back, and then it was like, man, I told you they was gonna do this. After the full game, like, after they lost, he was legit like, we play good enough to get the dub. I don't understand why we are not always fully locked in as a team. And I thought it was interesting because like he's a legit fan, and I didn't actually know that he was gonna say that, but I brought up the point, like, they're never fully locked in. They're good. They're good enough to beat us.
They're always missing one piece.
You said what?
They're always missing one piece.
Oh no, yeah, because like I said, Jason Tatum will go off. If it's either Jason Tatum will go off, Jaylen Brown is silent. Jaylen Brown will go off. You seen it. 10 points on 4 for 15. If it's not that and they both home, they turn the ball over. Boston is good enough to get to the finals. The question is up here.
Yeah.
The question is up here because I was saying Saturday night, and I told him, I'm like, bro, we should have lost that game. We should have lost that game.
I think the difference is, right, like, it's not saying that Boston's a bad basketball team, but those turnovers weren't just turnovers. It's not like they were, like, dribbling the ball off their ankle. It was 23 turnovers. 5 of them were like, we lost the ball. Not even 4 of them were we lost the ball. 19 steals. Like, I'm really, I don't know, dog. I don't know. I had a lot of confidence in Boston coming into this. I felt like Boston could compete. I felt like Miami wasn't going to be able to do enough to shoot them out of the gym, right? Like the offense wasn't going to match up. But you watched in that game, Miami's defense took it to a whole nother level. And we'll find out tonight, right? Like, you got the game tonight.
Victor Oladipo, like, and listen, I don't know why he not here when we give him his just due. But kid, when he right, I gotta give it to him. Victor Oladipo defense, that last 5 minutes on Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, only changed the game for y'all.
Like, legitimately everything. That was everything. Now in terms of tonight, we gonna have to see. I really don't know. I really don't think Jimmy plays. I got Boston winning this game. Just because I don't think Jimmy plays, and Spo just might want to rest him. I don't know. We'll see, because I don't even think Tyler's gonna play this game, because I know they said he wound up getting hurt.
Now, that is the one thing that I think is going to be the biggest game changer, right? Like, y'all trainers room is on fire tonight. Lowry's a game time decision with the hammy. Jimmy's a game time decision with the knee. PJ's a game time decision with the knee. Vincent's a game time decision with the hammy. Strus is a game time decision with the hammy. Tyler Hero's out.
He's out?
Tyler Hero's out.
Yeah, I figured that.
By the way, Boston gotta have the best trainers in the NBA. You saw in that game, bro. Like, how many shots were they giving?
Bro.
Giving in the back?
I was legit watching the game. I'm like, fam, so what in the Willis Reed is going on? Because it's just like, oh, Marcus Smart goes down. He's not coming back. The crowd going wild. I'm like, dog, we gonna do this twice?
On the flip side as well, Marcus Smart, game time decision with the ankle. That was a bad injury. I don't know how he got back. Jason Tatum, game time decision with the neck. Robert Williams, game time decision with the knee.
That's a big thing.
So it might, here's the thing, right? Like, if it's Jaylen Brown, like, with the injuries that we see tonight, Lowry, Butler, Tucker, Vincent, Strus, Heroes out. If it's Jaylen Brown and nobody else can go, Robert Williams can't go, Jason Tatum can't go, Marcus Smart can't go, I might still have Miami.
See, that's the thing. Boston is supposed to take this game.
I might still have Miami. I really might. Because now, listen, for it to happen, like, Duncan Robinson basically has to play.
Damn.
Duncan Robinson basically has to.
I gotta touch on this real quick. The fact that we talking about trading Tyler because he was hurt, and not talking about Duncan Robinson on Heat Twitter.
Yeah.
To get and still we still got this fixated mindset that we are getting Donovan Mitchell. Why would I go out and get?
Hey, I hope y'all get him,
bro. Legit. That's gonna be like no. Because I'm like, fam, we're going to pay Tyler 18 M's versus somebody that we got to give up, that we have to pay 45 M's to, who's horrible.
Hey, who
is horrible.
I am very
why
Donovan Mitchell being on the team.
But we're not talking about a dude that we paid 90 M's to that's not even in the rotation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Tonight, yeah, that is y'all. Hey, listen, we know y'all don't got fans. Come on now, y'all was leaving. Y'all was leaving during that blowout. Here's the thing, right? Like, if say no, none of them are able to go tonight. What's your prediction?
I got okay.
Both teams missing a lot. Lowry,
Listen.
Butler, Tucker, Vincent, Strus, Hero. You know what? I might have to take that. Well, no, because you still got Oli. You would have to have a monster game from Oli. You would have to have a monster game from Duncan Robinson.
I think we're gonna see some Markieff Morris minutes tonight, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Is he alive?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care. We just down bodies, so I mean,
bodies.
bodies. Nah, but I as much as I know Boston is supposed to win this game, I got Miami 101-97. Not 97. Cause I just think because at the end of the day, I feel like what this is gonna come down to is not even this game, just the whole series is, and Jeff Van Gundy said it, one, who's healthy, and two, I mean, the last game that we won, that just came down to everybody who wanted it more, and Muggs played that role.
Yeah, Bam.
That's all it was.
Bam absolutely had a game, 31 and 10, 6 assists. You would essentially need to see, I mean, you're talking about a starting lineup essentially with Oli's your point, Vincent or Duncan maybe your 2.
Nah, Vincent would be the 1, Oli would be the 2, Duncan at the 3, Bam at the well. Yeah, that's another thing. If PJ don't play, I don't know.
It's a small lineup, bro, and it's not they're gonna be playing most of the game. You're
Yeah,
gonna see
we've
some
been smart the whole
Yurtseven in this
series,
mug.
so.
Yeah, I'm saying you're gonna see some Yurtseven in this mug. Now that I'm looking at it right, just seeing how many people actually could be out, I'd still probably pick Boston. Ugh. But I don't feel great about that either. Can both teams lose?
Like
Can both teams
I don't
lose?
get it. I don't get it.
If both teams can lose, it's perfect. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. We will be back tomorrow breaking down this Boston game and also looking at some more stuff around the Bears, around the Bulls, stuff like that, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always. Monday through Friday, we do this from 11 to 1. Get in tune with us. And if you want to, if you've got a company out there that you feel like needs some promotion, if you've got a brand out there that you feel like needs some promotion, or if you want to have your job promoted on here, man, hit us up over on in the emails. Also hit us up in the DMs, man. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stefan Nadon. Hey, yo, Chicago, y'all stay safe out there, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.